oneself to be perfect is often the sign of a delusional mind. Small words from a small being trying to attack what he doesn't understand.
Okay. Just a quick check, everyone can hear me, I'm assuming? Yeah, I have no idea why the chat options aren't working. Doesn't make any sense. It's a great system, isn't it? You'd think that setting someone up as a moderator and having them have the ability to remove comments would actually do that. Yeah, right? I don't know. I'll look into it more. Maybe there's something I'm missing. There might be. Or maybe it's like some lag thing. I don't know. I'll look into it more later. Yes, just ban them in red. At the very least, maybe the timeout option works if there being a problem. Don't test that, please. But we can try that in the future. But anyway, welcome everyone. Welcome to Kinzo and in his love for his children. Look at him. Look at those angry eyes. He's just absolutely lividly furious with his kids for talking about his inheritance while he's still alive. And I think we're gonna get started. Anyway, and welcomed by a respectful bow from those two majestically fluttering his cave, Kinzo appeared. Kinzo's gait had a dignified weight to it, and it was hard to believe that he had reportedly been at the end of his life. Genji pulled back Kinzo's seat and motioned for him to sit. But Kinzo stayed standing, signaling with his chin for Genji to move back. Good. Start off the conversation with a cackle. Why don't you?
Yokoso Shogun, Rokkenjimaへ。何を怯えた顔をしておるのか、エヴァ。
Yeah, why should we even contemplate that this could be a problem for our whole strategy here?
お父様が大変お元気そうなのでほっとしただけで。
おお、エヴァ、お前は相変わらず面白いな。クラウスとの賭けに負けて悔しいと素直に言えばよいのに言えないよな。
Eva realized that their conversation during the day had indeed been leaked to Kinzo, and she hung her head, turning red.
さてと、我が息子たち娘たち、そしてその伴侶の諸君、お前たちの就寝している我が財産と当主の継承について、今宵は重要な発表をしようと思う。まず最初に、私はひどく失望していることを伝えようと思う。
I would agree with that. Kinzo's voice actor has just gotta be probably one of the most fun things to do. Just coming in and you get paid to cackle like a madman.
それは、今日まで誰にもあの碑文の謎を解くことができなかったということだ。
Even though Kinzo said he was disappointed. A condescending smile, as though there was no way the likes of these could have solved it, rose to his face and his gaze passed through all of them.
私はあれを解けた者に全てを譲り渡すつもりでいた。しかし今日までに誰も解くことができず、我が全ては誰にも継承されることなく、ここに至っているわけだ。情けない。お前たちの中にそれを受け継ぐ資格を持つ人間が現れなかったことが、私は心底残念であり、そして情けなくざまあないと思っている。
The siblings hung their head in silence. Of course, they would have solved it if they could. If they had just needed to take a swing at it, that would have been the end of it, but it was just so hard.
よって 私は非分の謎にて我が継承者を選ぶことをここに中止することを宣言する。つまりはタイムオーバー、ゲームオーバーというわけだ。
Oh, really? We just started, it felt like, except for all that flashbacks.
残念だったな、お前たち。お前たちには等しく公平にチャンスがあったはずなのに、それが今ここについえた。
It truly sounded like Kinzo was making a victory proclamation.
ならば当主は長男のクラウスに継承されるのか。答えはノーである。分かっているよな、クラウス。お前には確かに次期当主という肩書きを与えた。だがお前はそれに溺れただけだ。次期当主というのはどういう意味？
お父さんの後を継ぐという意味です。
違う。次期当主というのは当主が約束されたものではない。いいかクラウス、二度と教えないからよく聞けよ。次期当主というのはな、自分以外にも当主を狙う奴がいたら、その花を徹底的にへし折って二度と逆らえないようにしてやる奴のことを言うのだ。
Wow.
これは何も当主だけのことではない。金についても言える。金持ちというのは金を持っているやつのことではない。自分より金を持っているやつ全てを叩き潰し。
I would definitely agree with that. It sucks to be Ushirimiya in general. There's not really a point in the entire Ushirimiya family that is any good, I honestly think. I mean, sure you got money, but there's a decent chance of dying somewhere along the way.
そして誰よりも金をかき集められるやつのことを言うのだ。才能も同じ。天才とは才能に秀でたやつのことではない。自分より秀でたやつを全て叩き潰し、自分を天才と全ての人間に呼ばせることを力とカリスマで強要できるやつを指している。お前はその全てにおいて勘違いしているのだよ。
I feel like Kinzo's just been waiting 4 games to say all this.
だか
Like he's
ら
built all this up.
次期当主の器ではないのだよ。
勉強になります。
He's just been saving up all of this stuff. He's had a long time to think about this speech here. Perhaps that truly was Kinzo's philosophy. As a result of faithfully carrying out that philosophy of his that sounded like Iran, Kinzo had glorified the Ushirimiya family to the state it was in today. It may be hard to imagine after his immersion in the occult in recent years, but that brutal, overbearing quality was itself Ushirimiya Kinzo's charisma and aura.
このような不甲斐ないクラウスに後ろ宮家の全てを継承する資格などない。ならばエヴァ、ルドルフ、ローザの3人にはあるのか。これもノーである。
No!
非分の謎を解けず、さりとてクラウスを引きずり下ろす策も浪せず、お前たちにできたのは3人寄せ集めで共同戦線を張ってクラウスから金をせびろうとしたことだけ。しかもその策も浅はかそのもの。クラウス一人を追い詰めることさえできやしない。情けないことこの上なし。次期当主の座をどんなことをしてでも奪い取ろうという貪欲さが足りぬ。 欲しいもののためにはいかなる犠牲も払い、どこまでも貪欲となるべし、強欲となるべし。幸運の女神は貪欲なる者にこそ微笑む。その野生の精神がないお前たち3人にクラウス同様に継承の資格などありはしない。
Eva and the rest had no words to respond with. They're all probably just set aback just by the fact that he's not dead. And they couldn't calculate what it was Kinzo was about to say. Was Kinzo actually planning to proclaim that no one would succeed the head? If so, that would work to Eva, Rosa's, and Rudolph's advantage. Because in the end, they would just have to retune everything between the siblings after Kinzo's death, and split the inheritance evenly. It would surely be more troublesome if a specific person's name was raised, and proclaimed to be the one to succeed the head. But would Kinzo really say something that would benefit any of the 4 siblings after demeaning them so much?
まさか誰にも引き継がないからと財産をすべて慈善団体にでも寄付するとか言い出すつもりじゃないでしょうね。
Oh, that would just be tragic. Charity? No.
お父様ならやりかねないという恐怖はあるわ。
頭に血が上ってるだけさ。しばらくは聞き流すしかね
No, you're correct.
え。では、お父さん。次期当主についてはどういうお考えをお持ちですか？
お前たちに完全に失望した以上、私は誰に引き継ぐ気も失った。よって後宮家はこれで終わる。私の代で終わりだ。
Honestly, that probably seems the most truthful thing here. Kinzo would more likely burn the money than give it to charity. With charity, people aren't worth it.
後宮家などあの震災の時にとっくに滅んでおるわ。今の後宮家など私が束の間だけ見ている黄金の幻想に過ぎぬのだ。私が夢より覚めれば終わる程度のもの。この世など全ては夢、幻。生など死という目覚めの前には白昼夢と同じよ。ああ、そうだ。もとよりそうだったのだ。私が死ぬ時に全てを失うのがベアトリーチェとの契約、そして呪い。さあ行くか、ベアトリーチェ。お前を捕らえるのはこの私だ。今宵それは現実となるだろう。
For a while, Kinzo was overcome with cackling and his eyes bulged. Whenever he talked about Beatrice, it was always eloquent and insane.
お前たちのような愚かなる息子たちなどまさに白昼夢。初めからいなかったも同然よ。消えろ、覚めろ。真実の私のまどろみと共に消え去ってしまえ。私を継承するに値する何者も築き上げてこなかった出来損ないどもめ。
金蔵さん、よろしいか
な。何か。
You dare to interrupt my angry rant? While the chat goes crazy because I'm not reading their crazy comments, Nanjo nervously raised his hand, asking to speak. Kinzo allowed him to.
金蔵さんの気持ちもわかる。子供たちを愛するがゆえに大きな期待を寄せ、それゆえに期待を裏切られたような気持ちになる親心。 同じく子供や孫を持つ身としてよくわかります。しかし金蔵さんは非凡だ、天才だ。そんな金蔵さんに追いついて当然というんではちょいとひどすぎるんじゃないかね。それでもそんな金蔵さんに追いつこうとクラウスさんもエヴァさんもルドルフさんもローザさんも、そしてその伴侶の皆さんもよく頑張っています。
ほほう、よく頑張ってどの程度の金を稼ぎ上げたというのか。事業にことごとく失敗して借金を抱え、未だに私のすねをかじろうという間抜けどものどこがよく頑張っていると言えるのか。この世の全ては金として結晶しているのだ。それがつかめぬということはこの世を掴んでおらぬということ。魂がこの世をしっかり掴んでおらぬということは生きるに値せぬということだ。消えろ、我が生と現実から消え去ってしまえ。
それは暴論です。その理論から言ったら私だって生きていてはいけないことになる。そんな私でも金蔵さんと過ごしたチェスの時間は世の中お金で買えないものもたくさんあることを金蔵さん自身が誰よりもご存知のはずだ。
I'm gonna take a really quick break here, just to, since it looks like all three of the moderators are here. Hello. You should know if you're a moderator if you have a wrench. Generally what, just because I haven't actually had a chance to talk about it yet, I want you guys, if you're wanting to do the moderating, just to warn people before you do anything. Then if necessary, you can use the timeout function. And then after that, if you need to, you can remove comments. As of right now, we found the removing comments doesn't seem to work. I don't know if the other two options work. Let's not test them now unless they need to be tested. But I'm gonna look more into that later. But for right now, well, hopefully everything's okay. And I mean, honestly, you guys can have fun in the chat. I don't care. Just the big thing is spoilers. That's what I'm mostly worried about. Anyway, we can continue now. Who's third mod? It's Harlequin, Wing Bullet, and Raymond Throne. Anyway, now I'll continue. As the siblings motionlessly hung their heads, they cheered Nanjo on the inside of their hearts. Not one of the siblings could offer their opinion in front of Kinzo in a rage, but Kinzo's close friend Nanjo alone was allowed to. Even though Kinzo had raged so fiercely, after being admonished by Nanjo, he nodded several times as though in agreement. His surprisingly obedient side might have seemed cute, but there was no one who could laugh. Yeah, I'm paying you guys a lot of money. Don't show up late. You'll get paid later when I get paid.
確かに息子さんたちは金蔵さんほどの財は築き上げられなかったかもしれない。まあそれでも私から見れば羨ましいほどのお金持ちではありますがな。しかしお金だけでなくお金では買えないたくさんのものを築き上げました。それについて言えば金蔵さんにも負けないくらいです。
ほう、金で買えぬ何を積み上げたというのか。
幸せです。家族です。彼らは素晴らしい伴侶を見つけ、子を産み、それぞれの幸せな家庭を築かれています。あなたの一族を繁栄させ、そして孫を連れ帰ってきてくれました。孫はいいですぞ。私たち年寄りは私たちには見ることもかなわぬ新しき時代を生きるだろう若き孫に無限の未来を想像するのです。それは老境の唯一の楽しみではありませんか。思い 出しなさい、金蔵さん。彼らが初めて孫を連れて帰ってくれた時の喜びを、息子さんたちは、そして孫たちは、金蔵さんの
just gonna refute that,
後の世まで伝え、
talking about how they never brought him
模範として
joy.
くれることでしょう。それはお金がいくらあろうとも孤独なる身にはなせぬことです。
The siblings all nodded in agreement. Certainly, Kinzo had looked happy when his grandchildren had just been born. Back when he still had some sanity in his heart, before the evil laugh developed. However, was the warmth of a human still left inside Kinzo's heart?
それはつまり私が成した巨万の富の代わりに、金を儲ける代わりに孫を儲けたと、そういうわけか。
How much do your grandchildren go for on the market nowadays?
いえいえ、そういう意味では。
私が稼ぎ上げた数百億という財産の代わりに、息子たちは一人ずつ孫を設けたというわけか。それは素晴らしい。つまりは100億を投じて命を一つ生み出したと。
Apparently they're worth 10 billion yen, actually.
そういうわけだ。これは面白い。錬金術的に考えて実に面白い例えではないか。ほう、なんと価値ある孫たちなのか。素晴らしい、素晴らしい。
Kinzo never thought of it that way, apparently.
そうなのか、クラウス。お前の娘には100億の価値があるというのか。
Cross couldn't answer instantly. It wasn't that he didn't have confidence in his daughter. It was because he didn't have a clue what Kinzo was trying to test him with in this question. When Natsu was then pressed for an answer, she responded, breaking Cross's silence with an answer of her own interpretation.
はい。ジェシカは100億のお金を積まれても手放せない娘です。その意味において、お金では数えられない価値があると信じています。
So you could interpret that as her being worthless?
ほう、100億の価値があると言い切るか。ほうほう、エヴァはどうか。お前のところのジョージはどうだ。
Since Natsui had answered that way, Eva naturally came up with her own answer as well. Even though Eva should have known better than to respond to a provocative question like this, she answered as well.
お父様、ジョージには100億の、いいえ、それ以上の価値があります。
Man, George is worth even more?
それはお金で買えないという抽象的な意味ではありません。ジョージは必ずや自らの価値に等しいだけの財産を築き上げるでしょう。お父様の偉業を継ぐにふさわしい孫となるはずです。
Eva sent a glance at Hideyoshi and Natsui as though laughing. When she heard what Eva had said, Natsui was about to add more praise for her daughter, but stopped at a glare from Cross.
なるほど。
Rosa comes up. Yeah, I don't know. Maria, 2 yen? 3 yen?
ならばルドルフはどうか。お前のところのバトラはどうだというのか。
350 yen?
うちのバトラーはジョージ君に比べられちゃ言われることは何もねえ。誘拐されて身代金を100億よこせと脅されたらのしをつけて進呈したい程度のやつではある。さらにバカで無鉄砲だ。偉そうな夢やできるわけもねえことを語り出す。その一点においてはバカ100億人分に匹敵する大バカだろうさ。
10 billion normal idiots. Is that a form of currency? How much is 10 billion normal idiots worth? Because if 10 billion normal idiots are worth, you know, more than a yen apiece, that's a pretty good amount there.
バカもできねえ凡人どもが100億人束になってもできねえことをきっとあいつはやり出すだろうよ。
Aww.
ま、俺はどうせ
Or
だ
that,
ろう
yeah.
とは思ってる。世の中は甘くねえ。しかし100億の凡人を眺め
It's a
るより
negative currency.
奴の人生は干渉して愉快なものになるだろうことだけは疑ってねえぜ。
Eva clicked her tongue at the clever style of speech that would probably match Kinzo's tastes. Apparently Rudolph had been after this himself, so he grinned back at her.
マリアはどうか。
マリアは私の可愛いたった一人の娘です。
Is cute worth extra yen?
お金の価値で測れるものではありません。それだけです。
So she sounds like she might not be worth 10 million yen then.
なるほど。夢と未来、奇跡と可能性は我が魔力の源泉だ。希望をなくしていかなる魔法も力を持ちはしない。すでに凡客であることを証明してしまったお前たちには何を期待することもかなわないが。なるほど。孫たちには未来の可能性があり、魔法的奇跡を期待する価値はあり得るというわけか。それをもって100億以上の価値と言ってみせるなら、わからぬでもない。
When Kinzo got in a rage, he wouldn't let anyone speak up. But even so, he would sometimes accept something on his own while yelling by himself, and change his own opinion. That's what this felt like to the siblings. Apparently, even though Kinzo had been disgusted by his unsuccessful children, and had cast them away as being unfit for the inheritance of his title or his fortune, he wasn't sure about his grandchildren. At this rate, he might soon say that the inheritance would go to his grandchildren instead of the siblings. As the siblings sat in fear of what their fickle and short-tempered father would suddenly think of next, they carefully watched his every move. Like one of the first time I've actually been with a group of the adults and not been bored of their stupid money talks.
考えを少し改めよ。お前たちに我が全てを継承する気は全くない。しかし、孫たちの誰かにその資格があるかどうかを問うのはなかなかに面白いことだ。いつまでも子供だと思っておったが、ひょっとすると私を驚かせるような原石のきらめきを見せてくれるかもしれん。そしてそれを期待し試すのは、なるほど、我が余生最後の道楽としても捨てがたい。
Kinzo definitely does a good job of spicing up a conversation, doesn't he?
さて、これはどうしたものか。
ジョージならお父様の後を継ぐに
Eva,
ふさわし
please.
いと
Eva.
私は自信を持って推薦できます。
Eva, please. Eva claimed that right away. Not so he looked like she was about to follow along, but Cross gave her a look telling her to restrain herself, so she swallowed her words.
勇ましいではないか。ではこうしよう。後宮家の家督と財産のすべてを受け継ぐ資格があるかどうか、孫たちに個別に問おうではないか。
That's interesting. I don't know if any of them are really prepared for something like that.
お父様。
しかし、それはお前たちの誰かに間接的に家督を引き継ぐという意味ではない。お前たちにはすでに失望しているのだ。お前たちに与えるものは今や何もない。何もな。私が問うのは孫たちだ。 そして引き継ぐかもしれないのも孫たちだ。
So, are we just going to completely skip a generation here and go straight to the kids?
それを決して勘違いするな。
お父さ
Yeah,
んの
Maria's family head.
従います。
Maria takes all the Ushirimiya family's wealth and buys candy. And another Sakataro.
同じくだ。親父の決定に従うぜ。なあ、兄貴。
もちろんよ。お父様が賢明な判断をされると信じています。
私もお父様の判断に従います。
孫たちをどのように試すかは考えよう。そしてそれはお前たちには今さら関係のない話だ。当主継承とお前たちはもはや何の関係もないのだから。
Kind of curious what this competition would be like.
だからこの場ではお前たちに関係のあるもう一つの話をしようではないか。
もう一つの話とは。
それこそが今宵の、そして後宮家最後の親族会議の本当の理由だ。お前たちに求めるのは議論でも意見でもない。
I demand your lives.
我が儀式に
Cooperation in dying.
協力を求めるためだ。
Yep, he's totally roping him into this now, doesn't he?
儀式？
静かに。お父様がお話をなさっている最中よ。
Rudolph and the rest had automatically narrowed their brows at the occult-like word ceremony. Was he talking about starting a strange ceremony involving Beatrice's resurrection again? He was demanding that they help? Well, I don't know if they're going to have an option on this one. What in the world is he planning to start? In the past, he had carried out many... Wow. Why can't I say that word? Eccentricities. Darn it. And I'm just waiting for the chat to catch up on that one. That he called by the same name, such as starting to burn a strange incense and filling the whole mansion with the stench. To the siblings, the ceremony was nothing more than one of the aged Kinzo's obnoxious hobbies.
お父さん、儀式とは一体。
私たちに協力できることなら何でもご協力します。
Oh, you know, that crazy grandfather. He's doing that witch resurrection ceremony again that he does on the weekends.
ねえ、ローザ。
ええ。でも一体何を。
私が碑文に刻んだ通りの儀式だ。ベアトリーチェをよみがえらせ、黄金鏡の扉を開く儀式である。肉体の檻を逃れ、私の指の隙間を嘲笑うようにすり抜けるあの魔女を今度こそ捕らえ、屈服させる私の最大の秘術だ。そのために13人もの命を生贄に捧げねばならぬがな。
Just out of curiosity, because I just saw the the grandfather get off the chandelier. Who is it that had that picture? They showed it in the comments. I want to put it up really quick. If you can find it for me, I'd love to. It was that it was that one. It was called Perspectives or something. If you get that for me, I'll look at it in a bit.
13人もの生贄は容易には集まらん。しかし今宵は親族会議。
Yeah, I thought it was you. Do you have the link?
これだけの大人数が六軒島に集まった。この儀式が行えるのは今日を置いて他にないのだ。
If you were to take that literally, it could only sound as though he was telling them to become sacrifices for his dark ceremony and die. ridiculous. Is this some kind of metaphor? But they didn't even have a clue what he was trying to illustrate. The siblings whispered together about what Kinzo was saying. He's saying you're all gonna die.
いつもの悪い病気か？だろうな。しばらく黙って聞いてやる。
ごめんなさい、お父様。どういう意味でおっしゃられているのか分かりかねます。
何が分かりかねるというのか。私は至極
I'm
単純
speaking
に
simply,
話
you're all
して
going to die.
ベアトリーチェを蘇らせる儀式のためにこの島にいる人
Oh, that
間
old
から
grandfather.
13人を選
Setting up
び
those
生
sacrifices
贄に
again.
捧げようと言っている。
He just needs to get on his meds again. Come on, Nanjo.
何の価値もないお前たちも我が儀式の生贄としてなら大いに役に立てるというわけだ。
No, that is actually an interesting thing to say, because he was talking about how the kids, like, even, like, you know, the kids had to be worth, what was that, 10 million yen or something? And then, but now he's actually going to be using the family members in the sacrifice thing? Interesting, isn't it? Like, they actually are worth a bit. Do you think that's why Kinzo found it so interesting, because he realized that himself?
これは冗談でも何でもない。我が人生の最後に欲する最後の賭け、最後の儀式である。この島には今13人を超える人間がいる。つまりこの膨大な数の生贄を容易に満たせるだけの頭数が存在するというわけだ。お前たちは我が儀式の生贄となれ。
金蔵さん、あんたまさか。
Oh, Nanjo, are you finally starting to realize that sacrifices might actually be death?
あの話は本気だったのかね。冗談ではなく。
Unusually for him, Nanjo's face changed color as he stood up and shouted. It seemed this wasn't the first time Nanjo had heard all this dark talk about 13 sacrifices.
すまんな我が友よ。あれは冗談でも何でもない。我が生涯を賭して最後に挑む儀式でありゲームなのだよ。そう、これはゲームだ。
I can just imagine Kinzo getting really upset because no one's taking him seriously.
お前たちにとって我が財産を得て島を出ることがゴールならば、それを達する方法は2つしかない。13人の生贄から逃れ見事生き残り、今さらながら碑文の謎を解いて儀式を止めてみせるか、私を殺しこの儀式を止めてみせるか。この2つしかない。
By now, everyone wasn't just whispering, but chattering and muttering away. Even the siblings had noticed that Kinzo was beginning to act abnormally. Are you sure? Isn't this crazy old Kinzo?
少しお疲れなのでは。
I was worried it might not let you link it in the chat. Can you like break it? Like, can you take out the .com and I'll just add it afterwards or something? Will it let you do that? Try that. Sometimes that helps.
元気さん。
Is Genji, his father, been drinking again?
いいえ。親方様はご明晰であらせられます。
Alright, cool. Let me try that. No, stop talking, people. You're moving the chat. Okay, let me see if I can do it really quick. Hold on. There we go. Okay, hold on. Let me figure out how to make this work on stream. I've been I actually really like this one. Now if I can just figure out how to do it. Oh wait, no, that's not what I wanted, but we'll start with that. Let's see. Maybe. Or you can just look at this while I figure out how to do it. I don't think that worked at all. No, I have no idea. Wait, maybe I can okay, yeah, that'll work. I'll just download the image. And then I can just do it like this. Okay. There we go. We're gonna figure this one out, don't worry. Enjoy your rave party while I figure out how to get this image to work. Oh man, there's a couple images, so this isn't gonna quite work, is it? Nah, it didn't work. Darn it. Okay, well, feel free to go look at the link. Maybe I'll figure it out later. I have no idea what I'm doing stream-wise. Unless... we fit the screen? Okay, there's one image. You can have that one. Yeah, you killed the stream. Sorry about that. Look, you'll have one. Of George and Shannon. That one's a good one. And here, we'll get this one too. While I'm at it. Yeah, this will be the last one. Don't worry. This will be the last one, I promise. Get that one centered too. There we go. There we go. This one's actually my favorite. Anyway, back to video games. Closing windows and figuring out what the heck I'm doing. Okay. Yeah, just imagine this for the people watching afterwards as I do weird things with boxes. Okay, let's continue with the game.
悪いけど親父、何を言い出すのかさっぱりだぜ。親父が愛する魔女を蘇らせるために、親父の趣味なんだ。だが、そいつに巻き込まれて、生贄にされるのはまっぴらごめんだぜ。
ルドルフ、お父様の話に口を挟む気？
Don't worry, I've got the Maria Kinzo fan art on a different hard drive.
何言ってんだ兄貴。こんな物騒な話に、はいそうですかで頷けるわけねえだろ。
Was the ceremony Kinzo had mentioned literally something disturbing? Or was it some kind of test to choose? No, I mean it is both, but it's also, you're dead. It seemed that Rudolph had taken it literally. But Eva apparently still believed that it was something like a test or examination to find the proper next head. But Kinzo responded to that with a clear smile. Oh, did things get desynced? Oh, I see what you're seeing. Okay, hold on. Okay. Is it, wow, what the heck's going on? Kinzo messed up my audio. What the heck? Okay, we're gonna try that again. How about this? Let's never put any pictures ever up on the stream again. I think that was the problem. Yeah, this is why we don't change stuff while being live. Let me just quick if everyone can let me know if we're back, that would be great. Also, people can let me know, like, what was the last thing you saw. Like, not the picture, but what was the last thing we had? I can scroll back a bit in text. What is it? I think it was like, no, we were like around here, I think. Anyway, yeah, we'll continue in just a moment. Yeah, I have no idea what happened. For some reason, the stream said I was dropping frames like crazy. So, yeah, maybe that might have had something to do with it. It's still lagging for you guys, or not? Just now it's telling me I'm not dropping any more frames. That was the problem. I was dropping frames for some weird reason. I'm gonna continue. Let me know if anything weird happens.
異議も意見も何にも必要はない。4人の不出来なる息子たちがいたという私の夢が覚めるだけの話なのだ。お前たちにとってこれより目の前で起こることはまさに夢、幻、あるいはこの世のものと思えぬ理解に及ばぬ世界だろう。
Yeah, new rule. We're not putting pictures on stream ever again.
しかしそれこそが我が現実。
Yeah, Jason, I would recommend refreshing if you're still having an issue.
お前たちという出来の悪き浅い夢は今こそようやく覚めるのだ。
Everything's still desynced?
さあ、もうゲームは始まっているぞ。
Oh, okay.
これだけ
People are making me nervous. I'm getting
誰
it's
から
good,
命を
and then I'm
奪
getting
え
it's
ば
bad.
いいものやら。
Isn't that lovely? Yeah, I would recommend if you're still having problems, try refreshing it and then let me know if it's still being a problem. And on that note, I'm going to take about a 5-minute break here, and we'll resume in about 5 minutes. Okay? Okay. I doubt this would break the stream. I did it for like 15 minutes successfully without a problem, so I don't know why. Alright, I think we'll get started in a minute, and I agree. If I... I think we learned some great things today. We learned pictures break the stream, refreshing has a habit of fixing it, and moderators can't do anything. That's great. Yeah, I'll probably do a test stream at some point, and try it again. You know, try out new stuff again. Anyway, we're gonna keep going now. Hopefully everything is fixed. If anyone has any issues still, let me know, but I'm gonna go with the assumption that it's okay because everyone says it was.
さらばだ、出来の悪き息子たちよ。そして生涯でただ一度、そして最後に私の儀式のために役に立て。いでよ、ペンドラゴンの記念兵たちよ。
The music stopped. Very suspicious. When Kinzo raised his arms high like an opera singer, and yelled as though towards a packed audience. The air shattered like glass, and the outlines of 3 people who supposedly hadn't been invited to this island appeared. Oh good, it's the Siesta Sisters. I love you guys. You kind of just like... You just like break all the challenge. God mode turns on. Oh. Hi. Who are you? No, get it. People are distracting. Get out of here. Where's the other Siesta Sister? Do I have to go a few more slides forward to actually see it? I have a feeling this is one of those cases where I have to go a few more slides forward if I want to see it. Oh no, there we go. I forgot that one's weird, isn't it? Siesta 00, a weapon of the Sisters' Cavalry, which serves Pendragon. 00 is the position as their calm and composed leader. However, while that is the position demanded of her, she actually has a weaker composition. 00 excels in reconnaissance, and has an advanced guard possessing extreme supremacy in encounters. However, excess fighting power is criticized as being inhuman, and it is not rare for her to be lynched and abused when she surrenders on the battlefield. Her one eye silently tells it that. Yeah, by series I mean bunny girls. Yeah, that's what it was. I messed it up. You have to keep pressing the flag. You guys are right. I know, I got it. It's okay. Nobody needs to tell me anymore. And let me get this distraction out of the way. Someone messaged me. Go away. Okay, continuing. Look at Kinzo's magic portrait. It has new... Ooh, Kinzo's magic portrait has new info? Really? Okay, I'm sorry. Yet again. Goldsmith. Kinzo's name as a sorcerer is Goldsmith. His skill as a summoner is legendary for the current era. His summoning ability surpasses even Beatrice. However, he's very mismatched. And while he does excel in some areas, he's fatally lacking as a sorcerer in others. He can't even use enough magic to reheat black tea. Didn't we already read all this? I thought I did. it's possible for him to summon demons that can use enough magic to boil the sea. The source of his magic is found in arithmetic miracles, and his magical compendium is unique. Later on, Beatrice also took notice of this and rearranged her own magic compendium. I don't know, it all looks about the same. Yeah, no, I understand that the 556 isn't a huge spoiler, but still, just because people are saying it's possibly a spoiler, please no. Thank you. Anyway, back to the game at hand now. 3 girls with strange forms suddenly appeared behind Kinzo. Where from? When? Who? Who are they? The humans were thrown off balance and their minds went blank. Because they had spent all that time thinking. They had lost their last chance to survive.
お前たちには6人の射殺を許可する。
Interesting, Kinzo doesn't seem to be on the receiving end of this.
標的は自由だ。攻撃開始。
自由射撃了解であります。
Like, Kinzo kind of seems to be in charge rather than just being tossed in the fray like everyone else.
良き標的に関し。自由射撃開始。
Kinzo hired strippers for everyone.
一番乗りだね。
When 410 scratched the air with her fingers, a golden bow appeared in the empty space, and she pulled its string. The golden arrow that had been readied there was fired off without any hesitation, flew around the room leaving haphazard gold loci everywhere, and chose Natsui from among those sitting at the table of the family conference, pulverizing the left half of her face. She didn't need that half of her face, right? Oh, here comes the good music again. Flesh and deep red blood scattered around. Yeah, Natsui is the worst luck, it looks like. Leaving massive amounts of deep red spatter marks on the relatives' faces in the pure white tablecloth. There was silence. Even though there was a massive number of deep red spots left on the tablecloth. No one could understand why Natsui's head was half smashed, nor why she was hanging her head as though dozing while still... Oh, that's silly, Natsui. She's supposed to be paying attention during the family conference, not napping. That will give her a headache. And they watched in on silence. Those sitting on the right-hand side from Natsui were silent for a relatively long time. But those sitting on her left were not. Because the people sitting on that side had been shown how her head had been smashed open, like a watermelon or a pomegranate. And could even see inside her.
まずは一人。夏か。最後まで運が
Wake up, Natsui! We need to help Father with his ritual!
次
WO 射撃
Okay, sorry. After scratching the empty air in the same way and readying her bow, 00 fired as well. After it flew around and around at high speeds like the golden arrowhead 410 had released, drawing a convoluted locus in the same manner. It smashed half of Rudolph's... Oh man, I kinda like Rudolph. Rudolph's head in the same way as he looked at Natsui in shock, killing him instantly. Yeah, as long as the stream's still working, I can break as much as I'd like. This time everyone did not stop thinking altogether. They realized that a fearsome murderer was killing according to Kinzo's words right in front of them. And they understood that Kinzo would probably kill again. Their screams make me laugh. Shrill screams burst out. Even so, they did not know what to do. So they could only keep screaming and flapping their wide open mouths like goldfish. Oh gosh, now I'm just gonna keep laughing.
これは何のマナです。
はよ逃げるんや。
As Eva asked Kinzo that in total shock, Hideyoshi, who had come to his senses faster than anyone else, pulled at her arm from behind. However, merciless fate chose for that third sacrifice was Hideyoshi. Or merciless fate's choice. Just like the two before him, half of Hideyoshi's head was neatly smashed. And the left half of his head, which had happened to be facing that direction at the time, had been blown away with its contents exposed like a watermelon or a pomegranate. So still holding Eva, Hideyoshi slumped backwards and fell down. Still held by her beloved husband, Eva fell over backwards with him. Dear, are you okay? Dear, your head, it's everywhere. Eva screamed. It was only natural. The face she had been looking for had been half lost. And the crushed skull, the mashed brains, and the crushed jaw were all bare.
45着弾命中。
見事だ。続けて撃て。残りは3人であるぞ。お父さん。これは。
This is supposed to be part of the sacrifice I told you about. When Cross stood up forcefully and was about to rush Kinzo, Double O blocked him. With her slender-looking body, she held back Cross's body with just the palm of her right hand. He still tried to resist and attack Kinzo. So Double O lifted Cross by the nape of the neck and twisted into his Adam's apple with her thumb. It seemed to be very painful, and Cross was overcome with agony. You know, if your faces are still there, get an ambulance. You know, Natsui needs one for her face. Oh wait, no, that was before she died. I mean, she just needed one anyway. Maybe next time Kinzo should try Scrabble. I hear that's a good family game. Or Monopoly. People get mad at that too, though. Maybe it would end up with the same result. Maybe actually, this is what happened. Maybe they played Monopoly, and this is the aftermath. Nanzo's sharp words finally dissolved the spell that had been holding them down in their chairs. When Goda and Kumasawa each tried to escape from the dining hall first, 410 moved in an instant and appeared there, blocking the way.
すっとろいね。逃がすと思ったかに。
Goda-san, 伏せて。
Even though Goda didn't understand, he crouched when he heard Kirie's sharp voice. Then a burst of air rushed above his head. Kirie had taken a big swing with a chair to mow 410 down. But 410, still with an expression as though she was making fun of them, easily caught that widely swung chair with a single hand. That's what it is. Kinzo got sent, to jail just that one time, and he just couldn't stand it anymore. That was it. That was the breaking point.
おっかない女だね。旦那の後がそんなに追いたい？
From the cuff of her arm where she had caught the chair, something like a shining golden snake appeared, wrapped itself around the chair and burst open. It was a fearsome power like a vice. When Kirie realized that the being in front of her, which looked like a girl, was actually a being that surpassed human knowledge and which a human could not even begin to oppose. Her head was filled with a great alarm bell that welled up from inside her, as her head was also not filled. In fact, it was empty. Probably. Maybe. Maybe not. Genji, Shannon, and Ken and all of the servants, permitted to wear the one-winged eagle, continued to stand calmly at attention by the wall, even with a scene like this before their eyes, making them look very bizarre and eerie. For an instant, Kyrie thought that their calmness was achieved because they were with the enemy, and had been guaranteed that they would not be killed. But that was a tragic lie. As soon as she thought that, the sight of Genji's face was blown away before her eyes. Yeah, I would prefer if Kyrie didn't die in this. That would be great.
45着弾命中。
ほほう、元気。これは運が悪い。安らかに眠れ、我が友よ。そなたの死は無駄にはならんぞ。
I do kind of wonder how this is going to end up, because not all the adults are going to die, right? Only the first 6, so there's going to be some people left alive. Like, what do you do after that? I wonder. I guess we'll find out.
重要なる13の鍵の一つとなるのだから。
The half of Genji's expression that remained was as indifferent as ever. He tilted, fell over, and sent a blood-red splatter out across the floor.
源氏様、僕たちなんて所詮は魔女の駒なんだ。所詮。
No, Canon seems pretty chill just because there aren't any of the kids here. From the meek and the frustrated. No, resigned expression on Shannon and Canon's faces. You couldn't feel any naive expectation that they would be saved. That's right. Kinzo was, in the truest sense, carrying out these murders at random. In the truest sense, he was killing like it was a game to see who would be saved and who would be killed.
さて、次は誰を狙うかに。
Fortin looked at Kyrie for a second. In that second, Kyrie was prepared for her own death. But when she readied her golden bow in midair, Fortin was looking at someone else over Kyrie's shoulder. So, as imprudent as it was, Kyrie felt as though she had been saved. Again, an ugly exploding popping sound rang throughout the room. Who was it this time? I'm assuming when Kyrie turned to face the direction of the sound, that means Kyrie's face wasn't exploded. She saw blood gushing like a fountain, and Eva lying on her husband's chest. Of course her face had been half smashed just like her husband. Fortin had mercilessly targeted Eva as she had clung to her husband's corpse sobbing.
兄さんを離して、兄さんを離しなさい。もうやめてお父様。こんな残酷な。
I'm okay with Eva getting knocked out right at the beginning. Rosa's objection didn't reach Kinzo, as he continued to laugh loudly in the blood-spattered dining hall. So she wasn't able to let him cross his pain at being lifted up by the nape of the neck by 00. So Rosa had no choice but to use force. She lifted up a chair beside her and gave a warning.
お父様、兄さんを離すように命令して。こんなことやめさせて。
できんのな。それを望むならば、お前の自らの力で阻止するがよい。自らの運命は自らの手で切り開け。
And afterwards, Kinzo just says, "It was all a test. I was just testing you. I mean, they're dead, but you guys passed the test. Good job."
常に誰かの背に隠れ、怯えてきたお前に宿る人生最後の国旗を見せてみよう。Did she rip his head off? She's pretty good at that. The chair that Rosa had lifted up
swung down at the father who had reigned as a symbol of terror for her entire life. It was the greatest and final act of bravery and self-denial in Rosa's life. What Kinzo had said might have been true, if she had grasped that courage much sooner. Her life might have become more free, unrestrained by anyone else. You can do it, Rosa, just pretend it's a stuffed animal. Then, there was a bursting sound. The sound of Rosa's chair fiercely hitting Kinzo could not have been this. With the chair still lifted up, she neatly lost half of her head and slumped over. Best mother. Still holding Cross up with one hand, 00 stuck her other hand out towards Rosa. The golden snake released from that arm had constricted Rosa in a helix and had smashed into her head.
防衛射撃資金弾の無礼をお詫びするであります。
構わん。これで6人であるか。
Oh well, I guess we can go back to dinner, guys.
はい、ゴールドスミス卿。これで6人であります。
When she indifferently communicated that, 00 let go of Cross, who she had been lifting up this whole time.
第一の番の生贄はエヴァにルドルフ、
There you go, guys.
ローザ、
It's fun, I like laughing. There we
そ
go.
して源氏であるか。
So it's Eba, Rudolph, Rosa, Natsui, Hideyoshi, and Genji. Have their images been updated yet, I wonder? Oh, that's not what I wanted. Not yet. Maybe in just a bit. Maybe we have to wait until Battler sees it or something. It was a massacre that happened in an instant. The interior of the dining hall had been dirtied by blood spatter, and the 6 unlucky victims lay with their heads brutally exposed. In a way that was fitting for that abnormal space, Kinzo's abnormal laugh alone echoed. I don't know why, it's just every time I hear him laughing, I start laughing too.
Yeah,
I should hear that sound when it's updated, but when the music's loud like that, sometimes I miss it. So I thought I would have already seen it already.
ベアトリーチェを蘇らせる儀式の始まりだ。運よく第一の番を逃れた者たちに我が友人たちを
I am
紹介
personally
しよう
glad
で
that
はな
Kyrie
い
made it.
か。
I'm very interested to see how she handles any of this, because we've had a very, very small amount of Kyrie in the game so far.
いでよ、我が友よ。
I mean, we did have one really, really good moment last chapter, but other than that, that's about it.
ロノウェ。
Oh, Ronove's back! When Kinzo called Ronove's name, the demon butler showed himself in midair, bowing respectfully. Was that the sound, or...? I'm not sure if that was the sound, actually. No, that wasn't the sound, darn it. Was that sound for Ronove? I'm not sure. But we've already read all that, so wasn't that... Was that already here? I'm not sure. Oh well. When Kinzo called Ronove's name, the demon butler showed himself in midair, bowing respectfully. Yeah, I thought that was Ronove being added.
そしてご無沙汰の皆様におかれましてはごきげんよう。これはまた派手に
Ronove is best. It's Ronove.
いよいよ我が白チュームのごとき日々を覚ますにはこの程度の刺激が必要だ。紹介しよう。我が友人であり頼れる執事であり72柱の大悪魔であるロノウェだ。
以後お見知りおき。
Just who is he aiming that introduction at? Cross and Kirie, who were still down on their backsides, and Nanjo, Goda, and Kumasawa could only look up at this middle-aged gentleman who they didn't know in shock. Only Shannon and Cannon seemed to recognize him, and they bowed deeply. Okay. Okay, music, we gotta have a talk here. Calm down.
苦痛なく役目を終えられたなら良いのですが。
頭部直撃弾にて即死でした。苦痛を味わう暇もありません。
そうですか。結構です。
続けて友を紹介しよう。いでよ、我が友ワルギリア。
I'm sure everybody in the game has to have scary eyes at some point, right? We'll see. Once again, a silhouette of someone the relatives didn't know appeared from empty space. Yeah, let's just reveal all the witches, why don't we? She appeared in a refined dress while making an elegant greeting.
召喚を感謝します、親方様。許されるならば、このような血生臭き場に呼び出されたくはありませんでしたが。
こやつも紹介しよう。我が友であり頼れる相談役でもあるワルギリアだ。
That was definitely for Virgilia, whatever her name is. She should... Oh, yeah, looks like we got all of these added. It's a now retired endless witch. She was Beatrice's teacher. I don't know if this is the same information as before, but I'm going to read it anyway. She used the endless magic properly and devoted her life to the smiles and happiness of many people. She taught Beatrice the endless magic and retired, believing that Beatrice would also devote herself to the people. At the same time that she was Beatrice's teacher, she also served as the magician of Beatrice's home. Because of that, Virgilia had come in contact with her in her position of a servant. It is said that this became her downfall and invited Beatrice's arrogance and recklessness. Then we got goats. And goats are great. We love goats, right? I like goats. And we have the Seven Sisters of Purgatory. Everyone's here. That's nice, isn't it? Yeah, I think it's all the same info. So we're gonna keep going.
偉大なる有限の魔女であるお前の力を我が儀式に借りたい。
I thought I read Kinzo's one, didn't I? Yeah, Kinzo's right here. Anyway, what was I saying? I was totally gonna say so. Oh yeah, I bet Kinzo, honestly, he probably just went and just started going on a stabbing spree, and no one expected an old man just to start, stabbing people, so no one really knew what to do about it.
その力を貸せ。
お断りしようにも、あなたの強力な召喚霊族下にある身では。それも構いません。御意に、親方様。
それにしても恐ろしいお方だ。シエスタの姉妹兵を3人も召喚し、私に加え、さらにワルギリア様までも召喚せしめるとは。召喚という能力においてのみとはいえ、お嬢様をもはるかに上回るとは。I
mean, it's not like Kinzo couldn't go on a stabbing spree. He seems like he's physically able enough.
後ろ宮の地に戦慄を覚えます。
ベアトリーチェ復活の儀式を執り行うために、私は召喚師としての全てを尽くすだろう。まだ足りぬな。この度の儀式の完璧なる遂行のために。さらに召喚しよう。ペンドラゴンの記念碑に炉の上にワルギリア。まだ呼べるぞ。我が魔力ならまだまだ呼べる。我が召喚に応えよ。72柱が一人。ガープよ。
ガープをあれまでも権限できるというのですか。さ
らにこの島の侵食が進んだということでしょう。 私たちが健康できていることです。今更どんな大悪魔が呼び出せたとしても驚くには値しますね。
Has broken Jima already? Oh, you were supposed to say that line and it didn't go through.
彼が屈
Here,
服しないと
you
言う
talk,
のです。
Virgilia.
前回たっぷり入れ知恵をなされたでしょう。この程度では今更屈服しますまい。おそらくですね。さて、私たちはこの舞台を楽しもうではありませんか。今回の主人公はどうやら親方様のようだ。お嬢様とは一味違った脚本に期待しましょう。
I'd love to see this new character. When Kinzo strongly concentrated his magical power, a pale light gathered in the air, twisted, and a magic circle was drawn with a deep red light. Oh, good! It's another girl! And with a sound like... Let's take a listen for this, shall we? Oh, I like it. Yeah. Oh, I didn't even realize, yeah, there's side boob there. Oh, that's... I thought that was part of her clothes. Mind the gap. And with a sound like glass breaking, a new demon could be seen there.
よくぞ我が呼びかけに応えた。72柱の大悪魔が一つ、ガーフよ。
すごいところに呼び出されたものね。この血まみれの部屋を掃除するために私は呼び出されたのかしら。ゴールドスミス。
The literally devilish woman, wrapped in a venomous, ominous costume, looked at the scene which should have made her cover her eyes, and twisted her mouth in a grin.
そのためだけにあなたを呼び出すとしたら、
Oh, I'm digging this theme, this is really good.
カシミールのマフラ
Oh
ー
yes, yes, I need to read her entry, don't I? Let's take a look. Gap, one of the 72 great demons, also Beatrice's friend. In response to a magician's demands, she gives the power of instant movement. Yeah, and no clothing. She always uses this wonderful power for pranks. Hiding keys in bags during busy mornings is her specialty. However, this power becomes a final weapon which can easily strike the finishing blow in closed room mysteries. Her queen bee-like attack would probably pierce all famous detectives, making them surrender. So that's gonna be a nice, extra difficulty curve for battlers to deal with, won't it be?
お久しぶりですね、ガープ。あなたのような大悪魔がとうとうこの島に現れてしまうなんて。いよいよこの島も幻想に沈むのでしょうか。部屋の惨状よりも
She does have
彼
nice
の
drills.
豪華キャストの方が
In her
驚
hair, I
いて
mean.
ね。シエスタ姉妹が3人もいて、大悪魔ロの上に大魔女マルギリアに。
We got a lot of people. If you include the dead ones, we got a lot of people in this room.
これは何事？ここはパンデモニウム？地獄の演奏会でも始めるつもりかしら。なるほど。そこで指揮棒が震えるのはあなたぐらいしか思いつかないわ、ゴールドスミス。
そなたにはベアトリーチェをよみがえらせる我が儀式遂行のための進行役として協力してもらう。我が召喚契約に依存はないな。
依存も何も。天下の大魔女ベアトリーチェを刺激した伝説の大召喚師ゴールドス協力はするわよ。もちろん見合ったお題もいただくけどね。で、最初の仕事は
第一の番を免れた間抜けどもを捕らえよ。幸いにもここにはまだ7人いる
You
で
don't want him running
は
off and
ない
telling the
か。
kids or hiding in the forest.
南條にシャノンにカノン、ゴーダに熊沢、キリエにクラウス。ほう、 この7人を丸々生贄に捧げれば、
Yeah, that's right.
ちょうど13人だ。
We could clean up this game real fast.
第2の番以降を実行するタイミングが訪れるまで、生贄の檻に放り込んでおくがよかろう。
Yeah, I would imagine Battler would have fun with Gap, wouldn't he?
カシミヤの雑巾がけね。了解したわ。
As Gap shrugged her shoulders, she looked at Cross, who was still down on his butt. She glared. Then, when she snapped her fingers, as though a round pitfall had opened up in the floor, Cross was swallowed up by the floor.
言っちゃわね。
There was no hole in the floor, but it had certainly looked as though Cross had been swallowed up by a hole and disappeared. Yeah, why go to all the trouble of having to separate all the humans and stuff? Just put them in little cages and stab them later. Searching for her next prey, Gap's gaze crossed Kyrie. She snapped her fingers. There's so many great Gap puns, isn't there? You can just Gap and close. That's all you need, and you can just make puns for an hour. Kyrie jumped back as though repelled. She had felt it instinctively, because in the place where she had been until a second ago, a round jet black hole had appeared, the same kind that had swallowed up Cross. However, before she could catch her balance, another pitfall appeared and swallowed her up. Even Kyrie had no way of eluding Gap's capture. just say Nanjo, just fall. When she snapped her fingers again, a shocked Nanjo was swallowed up by the floor and disappeared. When she did it again, 410 let out a short yell and jumped back. Whoa, really? Oh, okay, I was about to say, it was 410 going with him as well? This time a slightly larger pitfall had opened, swallowing both Shannon and Cannon, who had been standing in a line by the door. But because 410 had jumped away from the door, the way was no longer blocked. Instinctively aware that he would be next, Goda dashed out through that. Look at Goda! Goda's on his feet! Look at that! Nanjo went in the gap. Instinctively aware that he would be next, Goda dashed out through the door. Oh, I like that weird part of the song. The woo! Instinctively aware that he would be next, Goda dashed out through the door. Of course, Kumasawa also escaped with lightning speed, chasing after Goda. As Gap snapped her fingers over and over, round jet black pitfalls opened one after another behind them, chasing them. However, it did nothing but drive the recklessly fleeing pair away, and couldn't swallow them up. Goda and Kumasawa had escaped in a matter of seconds.
鈍ったわ。二人逃がした。ご安心を。逃走目標を捕捉中であります。
ベータリンクよし。
Kumasawa dashes away with lightning speed.
西狙撃しますか？
いいえ、それは許可できませんよ。貴重な生贄です。お役手様の許可を待つよう。
Yeah, I was
はい、
thinking,
ゴールドスミス卿。
if you really wanted to, just open holes in front of them. Like, you seem to be able to do it a lot. Just open a bunch in front of them. They'll fall into one of them. We just open a big one at the end of the hall. What are they gonna do? Jump over it? She's old.
指示を待ちます。
第二の番の訪れにはまだ早いと我が魔力の源泉がささやいておるわ。今はならぬ。好きにさせてやれ。どうせこの島からは逃げられぬわ。
親方様の魔力の源泉とはすなわちノイズとリスクと運断しつまりは気まぐれというわけですか？
Oh, so he actually gains more magical power by just like deciding not to chase them?
そうとも言うかもしれぬ。ガープ、ご苦労であった。 儀式はこのまま着実に進めよ。さて、それはそれとして、次は我が孫たちだ。次期当主たる資格があるかどうかを試す。
Baka, it's not like I wanted to chase you with magic holes.
はてさて、どうやってその資質を確かめたものか。
その資格があると判断されたならベアとの復活を断念されるおつもりで？
無論だ。にもかかわらず試す。女の身にはわからぬであろうな。この矛盾、我が狂気など。
相変わらず男ってどこか変ね。
Says the woman wearing half of the clothing thing.
リスクを遊ぶという概念わかりかねるわ。
おやおや、あなたはそういうのが大好きかと思っておりましたが。
もちろんよ。男に危険なリスクと一緒に恋をささやかれたらキュンキュンしちゃうわ。ただしイケメンに限る。お静かに死後は慎むように。
実にかしましいやつらだ。だが少なくとも退屈はせん。これだから召喚は愉快なのだ。そなたらには我が儀式のノイズとリスクの天秤の片側を担ってもらうぞ。その働きに期待している。
6 brutally murdered corpses lay in the dining hall, and it was contaminated with red, gruesome decorations. It was now unimaginable that, until just a second ago, 13 humans had been arranged here in a well-organized manner. Kinzo lined up the famous demons and their subordinates, loudly declared the beginning of a night of overwhelming mass murders, and swore to himself that he would certainly revive Beatrice and open the door to the Golden Land. Oh, that was great timing on that, wasn't that?
これにて第一の番、いよいよ開幕。金蔵め、相変わらず派手を好む男よ。
Yeah, after Kinzo went on a stabbing spree, he then locked people in closets and then went and imagined his harem.
付きまとわれればしつこいことこの上なき男も、舞台の上ではこれほどまでに映えるというのか。
くそ、相変わらず黒い殺し方ばかりしやがって。頭部半壊だ。てめえら魔女ども悪魔どもの悪趣味には相変わらずうんざりさせられるぜ。
Battler, don't use the anger thing. You already tried it once, and we found out it was a big trick on Beatrice's part to go with that.
頭部半壊。なるほど。これまでのゲームで一番理想的な殺し方がこれだと気づいたわけね。
理想的？このひでえ殺し方がどう理想的だってんだ。
I mean, they didn't suffer. That's one thing, I guess.
実に理想的じゃ
Oh,
ない。
Gap, you're here too.
一番最初のゲームを思い出してみると。
お前はさっき登場しやがった。新しいクソ。また魔女の侵食が進んで、ろくでもない奴が増えたというわけなのか。
Unsavory. That's the word. The more the witch's corrosion advanced, the more Rokenjima tilted towards the spirit world. That's why strange, insane people have kept appearing one by one. Since this island was closed off by the typhoon and no human could leave it, of course new humans couldn't appear either. But the more the corrosion advanced, the more witches and demons could appear without limit, increasing one by one. By now, perhaps there are more demons than humans among the characters appearing in this insane tale. Their numbers might be the thing that represents this mad corrosion. Yeah, I'm sure that's true. And not only is the number of people corroded, not only is, her fashion sense apparently is as well. If the corrosion advances any further and even more weird people appear, just what in the world would they be wearing? It's so scary I can't imagine. Scary's not the word I would have used. Seriously, give me a break. Don't make these weird guys increase in number anymore.
そうはいかんぞ。まだまだ増やすぞ。人間どもの語るクローズドサークルなる間抜けなルールをわらわがいくらでも怪我してやろう。よく来たな。我がガープよ。
お久しぶりね、リーチェ。お元気だった？というか随分元気そうじゃない。あなた若返った？私が知ってる頃より2、300歳は若々しいわ。ああ、なるほど。
Being a witch might have something to do with that. The demon grandfather had summoned and introduced his Gav. Took a glance at me, and then grinned as though figuring something out on her own. It felt like an honestly unpleasant smile.
レアとの友人らしいな。ってことは輪をかけてろくでもねえやつってわけだ。しかしクローズドサークルがなんとかって言ってやがったが、どういう意味だ？
今の六辺島のような外界から断絶された場所で起こる連続殺人ミステリーがクローズドサークルと呼ばれる。外界からの断絶、つまりは閉じられた輪の世界というわけ。故に登場人物と容疑者は限定されるのが一般的にもかかわらず、新しい容疑者候補が次々に輪の外から追加されていくのはミステリーの作法に関する。つまり人間とミステリーに対する魔女の冒涜ってつもりなんでしょう。あなたがグレーテル？なるほど、賢い子みたいね。そういう子は好きよ。舌が甘くてとろけるから。気色悪い。冗談は服だけにしておいて。
Keep the jokes to your clothing.
デビリッシュプリティの最新作、ジャック・ザ・リッパー・クリスマス・ブラッド。人間界の田舎娘には理解できないセンスでごめんね。通気性がいいのだけは理解できたわ。ついでに頭にも切れ目を入れたら？
Oh, why don't you add a gap?
脳みその通気性も良くなるかもね。
ガープは魔界の流行にいつも敏感でな。しかし今年の流行りも実に大胆だ。わらわも一度ぜひ取り寄せてみるとしよう。
リーチにはアリグレがおすすめね。アリス&ザ・グレーディアード。今度一緒に666にも洋服見に行きましょうよ。たまには魔界にもいらっしゃいな。
このゲームを終えたらぜひそうしようぞ。
それにしてもリーチの対戦相手のお二人がなかなか可愛いな。この子なら頭部半壊死体にどういう意味があるか察しがつきそうね。わかる？お嬢ちゃん。
さっきこいつは一番最初のゲームを思い出せと言ったが、どういう意味だ？
言葉通りの意味。一番最初のゲームの第一の番を思い出して。
That was, everyone was dead in the storage room outside, right?
大人たちの死体が魔法陣が
the
放たれ
shed.
た園芸倉庫の中で発見された時のことに。覚えてる？
Episode 1. The first twilight. 6 people, Cross, Rudolph, Kyrie, Rosa, Shannon, and Goda, each had their heads pulverized and died.
あの時、あそこには2種類の死体があったわ。それは、顔面を粉砕された死体と、側面を粉砕された死体の2種類。
Well, there was, wasn't there?
そうだ。顔面粉砕はルドルフ、キリエ、ローザ、ゴーダの4人。側頭部粉砕はクラウス、シャノンの2人だ。わらわもあの時点では気まぐれに生み出した2種類の死体である。
Yeah, it was like a year ago. I will agree pretty much.
より残忍な死体である前者の方がわらわにとってむしろ不利であることに気づいたの。
ベアトにとって不利。そうか、そういうことか。
But wasn't that because I mean, we may just go over this in a second, but that was the theory that the people with the completely unrecognizable faces might not necessarily be the actual victims? That's right. The smashed faces might look atrocious, but that made it hard to confirm the identity of the person. For example, at that time, Cross Oji-san and Shannon-chan had their heads half smashed. That itself was of course atrocious, but because half of their faces remained, it was easy to confirm their identity. But Dad and the other three were different, because his face had been completely destroyed. Even I, as a son, could only guess by inference that it had to have been Dad because his clothes in the light. In short, it remained vague until the end whether that really was Dad's corpse.
第一のゲームの時にも、もしも推理バトルが行われてたなら、俺は多分親父たちの死体を本人確認不能のため偽装死体の可能性もあると主張していたかもしれない。
Go ask Ronovi to make some more cookies.
何しろあのゲームの時にはベアとは一切赤での発言もしていない。
お上手よ。それで正解。偽装死はミステリーの基本の一つ。たとえ医者に検証させたとしても、犯人とグルを疑われればその結果は信用できない。つまり確実な死を保証できない死体は常に魔女サイドを不利にするということ。あらゆる死体について偽装死を疑い、その後の事件の犯人に想定することができる。バトラの嫌う手だけど、魔女に対する最も初歩的な一手ね。
ああ、そうだ。だからベアとは赤を使い出した。赤き真実で完璧な検証を行うようになったんだ。
そういうことだ。本来ならこの第一の番の惨劇に対し、わらわはすぐにでも赤き真実にこの度の6人の死亡を確定させるところである。しかし知っての通り、今回のわらわの戦法はこれまでとは正反対に赤き真実の兵糧攻めといったところ。そなたが反撃の拠り所にしようとする以上、わらわは容易には赤を使わない。必要最低限の赤にたった1箇所だけほころびさせればいい。つまりわらわは究極的に言えば、そなたのあらゆる密室の推理についてあらゆる暴言を許せども、そのうちの一つ、たった1回の赤き真実にて打ち破るだけで良いわけだ。
散々俺をいたぶってきやがったくせに、俺が反撃に使い出したら今度は引っ込めやがったってわけだ。ふざけやがってよ。
とにかく赤を使いたくない。蹴っちりたい。バトラをいじめてやりたい。しかし赤をわらわは悩みに悩んだわけだ。そのアイデアをガープがくれた。実に簡単な方法だったのだ。
What's the truth? Make a hole in the ground and then just make them disappear? Dig holes in the ground? Bury them alive?
当たり前なことを言ったらリーチをひらめくだけよ。私は誰にでも容易に身元の判別と完全なる死が理解できる死体を用意すればいいと言っただけ。 はその2つを合体させたわけよ。身元の判別に必要な顔と完全なる死の象徴である魂の器たる頭部の粉砕。この2つを左右ぴったりきれいに合体させたらあら不思議。この頭部半壊死体がパーフェクトであるという答えが出たわ
お前絶対2色パンとか2色アイスが好きだろ。欲張りな子供市民丸出しだぜ。
いずれにせよ、たとえ頭部が半壊していたとしても、現時点では彼らが死んだとみなすべきではない。
Yeah, they might just be sitting there alive with half of their face missing.
分かってる。ベアトがもったいぶって赤での宣言を拒む以上、全ては疑ってかかるだけ。もちろんシエスタの太もも姉ちゃんたちの魔法殺人だって鵜呑みになんか絶対しねえぜ。
本当に慎重になったこと。最初のゲームの頃だったなら何でもかんでも鵜呑みにしてくれていたのよね。法的史はこうでなくては面白くないというもの。今は赤がないことをさえ自由な想像を広げ好きに推理を重ねるがいい。一番酸い一番おいしいところバッサリと赤き真実に叩き切ってくれようぞ。
No, no, no. Just, I'm not, there's not an issue with the chat. You guys can have fun. I just don't want to, I'm now realizing that if I address everything, I'm not going to get anywhere. So I'm choosing what to address, trying to not stop too often. Also, I don't have a whole lot to say about it other than what's been said. I hear drippy water sounds. What are the drippy water sounds? Rosa, are you dead? Silent, black, cold, painful. Rosa regained consciousness bit by bit. And the first thing she thought was that it would have been better if she hadn't. After all, with her body this cold and hurting, it became more painful the more her consciousness returned. It felt like she had been sleeping on ice-cold marble in the darkness, lying face down for a long time. I was going to stop it right there, but now I'm way too interested. This is why I always tell myself, even if it's just for a nap, at least get on the sofa. Even though I always know that, if I oh gosh, why am I having trouble with the words? Probably because it's 11 o'clock and I need to go to bed. If I naively, try and close my eyes for just a second, and end up sleeping on the floor in the study chair, it'll hurt my body later and make things difficult. Since I slept on such a cold and hard floor, even my bones are ice cold. Since I slept on such a cold and hard floor, the half of my face pressed down against it hurt a lot. If I were to look in a mirror right now, I'm sure I'd see an embarrassing mark. You mean like half of your face being missing? I didn't think that just rubbing it would make that mark disappear. But I stroked the hurting side of my face for a time being, trying to smooth it over. Oh, good. They're at the witch's tea party. I wonder where this is. I thought it was pitch black, but it looks like it isn't. After all, I can faintly see my own body. Without a doubt, there is some source of light. But even if I looked up at the ceiling, or else the sky, there was only an expanse of blackness and I couldn't see a proper light. My body alone was slightly lit, whereas everything else was sunk into darkness. That's what this world was like. It was almost as though Rosa alone had been abandoned in a forgotten world. as her mind grew clear. She started getting nervous about why she was here all alone in a lonely place like this. When she was about to call out, asking if anyone was there, patter, patter, she could hear footsteps coming towards her. They were light footsteps, so she thought it was probably a kid. She didn't sense anything disturbing, so she wasn't afraid. Depends on what kid we're talking about, but they also weren't Maria's footsteps. So wondering who in the world would be in a darkness like this, she stared in the direction she could hear the footsteps from. As she did, a faint approaching silhouette came into view. It's Sakataro! He's not dead! It looked like a child much younger than Maria, and he's gonna be like, "Why did you kill me?" And then his head's gonna come off and she's gonna scream. And then her face is gonna come off and then she'll be dead. Who is it? I don't know this kid. But the expression on his face was like a lost child separated from his parents. As a parent with a daughter herself, Rosa felt as though her chest had been torn apart.
Uryu.
You killed me! Oh gosh, red flash? The instant the kid muttered that infantile word, she felt pain in the half of her face that had started hurting from the cold floor, as though it had been pierced by long, thin, hard needles. Sorry. See, this is why I like chat, because I get instant feedback to stuff like this. And then Rosa rips his head off again before he can do anything. Maybe that's what happens. He said Uryu, and then she just ripped his head off. Without thinking, she pressed her hand against that side of her face.
大丈夫? まだ痛い?
Is your face coming off?
ありがとう、僕。ここはどこ？すごく寒いわ。
こっちへ来て。ここにいちゃいけない。
Sakataro's the Grim Reaper. That's actually the only solution. That child took my other hand and pulled with a grim expression on his face. I didn't have a clue what was going on. However, a single honest expression on a child can often tell the truth better than 100 words from an adult. She didn't know the situation, but even so, Rosa dashed along with him, still being pulled. But this was a world where nothing could be seen in the darkness except for their own forms. She couldn't even really feel like she was running and moving forward. Even though she was running, she couldn't even feel any wind. It was as though she was still inside a nightmare, that kind of unreal feeling. So even though I was running, I couldn't maintain my sense of balance and my legs got tangled and I fell. Even in a world that didn't feel real, the pain of smashing my face against the cold, hard floor was reality itself.
Uryu, 大丈夫?
Oh yeah, I'm just getting red flashes of ripping your face off.
ごめんなさいね。頭が痛むの。
It feels like my face was shot. When that kid said that infantile word Uryu, pain like being stuck with needles ran through my head again. Yeah, that's her trigger word. Even though it had only happened twice. I was somehow able to understand that the child's word was the cause of my pain. So I said so frankly.
ごめんなさい。その、ウリュウという口癖をやめてもらえる？
Uryu.
Oh, look, it's Sakataro, we did it again!
ちょっと、やめてって言ってるでしょ。
Come on, Sakataro, just sit.
ごめんなさい。
Do it again. Do it again. I had the feeling that this child's words of apology made me feel a sharp pain in my forehead this time. What is this child? I know there's no malice in him, but when I'm around this child, my head hurts.
大丈夫? 早く行こう。ここは行っちゃダメ。
どうしてここにいちゃダメなの？ねえ、ここはどこ？あなたは誰？あなたのママはどこ？
僕を作ってくれたのはマ
Killed
マだ
me.
よ。
Uh-oh. Rosa, are you gonna realize it now? That child stared at me with round eyes. This kid's mama is me? Who? Who is this kid? I don't remember at all.
僕のこと忘れちゃった。
You didn't forget about me, did you,
ママが
Rosa?
僕を作ったんだよ。
You didn't forget about me.
ちょっと冗談はやめて。私の子供はマリアだけよ。そう。マリアはどこ？
Don't you remember when you murdered me, Mama?
マリアはどこなの？マリア！
I suddenly grew nervous about Maria not being there. Why am I all alone in a place like this? Where is Mama? Or Maria, not Mama. I'm only able to be me because Maria's there for me.
マリアはいるけど、今はマリアじゃない。今は会わない方がいいの。その方がママのためだし、マリアのためなの。マリアのためにも逃げて。
え？何を言ってるの？マリアはどこ？マリア！返事をして！
マリアに見つかっちゃう。早くこっちに来て、ママ！
That child pulled on my hand again. He was probably pulling me in the opposite direction from Maria. So I stopped walking.
話してよ。大体あなたは誰よ？あなたにママなんて言われる覚えはないわよ。
僕を作ってくれたのはママだよ。忘れちゃったの？マリアのバースデープレゼントにするために僕を手作りしてくれたの。忘れちゃったの？
Uh-oh. Oh no. She's realizing it now. The horror. It's gonna set in soon.
作太郎。
ママに作ってもらったライオンのぬいぐるみだよ。
A fierce, sharp pain struck me. It came from the palm he had grasped with his hand. When I knocked his hand away without thinking and looked at my palm, a hole the size of a thumb had opened there, and deep red blood gushed out. It was a hole so big that I could see through the other side. You could see through the gap.
ウリュウ、大丈夫？
No, Sakatara, you said Uryu again.
大丈夫？どうしたの？
Sakatara also noticed my wound and panicked. As far as I could tell by looking at him, he couldn't understand why my hand had sustained a serious injury. But in my eyes, it had felt like I had sustained that injury because he had grabbed my hand. Whether there was malice in him or not, I understood that this child was something that would do harm to me, and he instantly became eerie.
あっちへ行って。あなたなんか知らないわ。作太郎は気持ち悪い下手くそなぬいぐるみでしょ。
Oh, I saw Sakatara flash
私
there
は
for a
知らない
second.
わよ。ママなんかじゃないわよ。あっちへ行って。消えて。
Honestly, that's what it probably is now that I think about it. The entire story of Umineko is people just getting incredibly drunk. That's all it is. Slowly, the base of Sakatara's neck was sliced in a horizontal line. It gaped open, and pitch black insides peeked out. What about stuffing? Where'd the stuffing? No blood poured out. Only an empty blackness peeked out. Whoa. Hey there. Then, from the insides of the gash, cotton snow poured out, and as bits of cotton scattered, he slumped over. There was only crumpled yellow cloth, and bits of cotton that looked like sticky crushed cotton candy. Blood, lots of blood. A lion, stuffed animal. Without a doubt. It was the remains of the Sakataro stuffed animal I had torn apart on that day, overcome by my emotions. Yeah, no, that effect was actually kind of startling. I didn't really expect something like that. The instant I realized that, a long, sharp shriek that could rupture an eardrum tore the world apart. Oh boy, we're back to the social worker scene. Like a flood from a broken dam, or like a broken TV. Maria cried out in a high-pitched voice. Maria's voice, which made the ears throb, broke up two emotions. One was regret. Yeah, I was overcome by emotions and went overboard. Just a little bit. A mother's desire to kneel down right away, hold Maria's head, cry with her and apologize. Actually, I did that right away. I held Maria's head and apologized for that crying. But Maria didn't stop crying. On the contrary, she rejected me, the one who had torn her closest friend apart, and pushed me away forcefully with both hands. Since I had been on my knees in an unnatural position, I fell backwards easily. Maria scraped together the yellow scraps of cloth and cotton bits, buried her face in them, and cried even more. Watching that, another emotion welled up. It welled up rapidly, and then burst. After all, she didn't make up with me after I apologized, and there was nothing else I could do now, and it was all Maria's fault in the first place. Since she was too busy playing with stuffed animals all the time like this, she couldn't make any friends and is treated like a weirdo. This is a good opportunity for instructive guidance. It's not like I was pampered all the time myself. Things eventually break, or stolen and are broken. Even I had lots of toys and treasures stolen, broken, made fun of, and thrown away by my brothers and sister and father and mother. But when I cried about that, while I might have shed a few tears, not once did I sob like this and have trouble my parents. Throw a tantrum, get mad, hit the floor and kick and make a racket. I wonder who that sounds like. Let's let that sink in for a moment. Even though I always wanted to, I thought I'd get in more trouble if I did, so I always held it back. It's because I held it back that I was able to become the wonderful adult I am now. At that time, I felt something strange. The same feeling as when you use a tool recklessly, and it finally breaks so that only the base is left. But I wasn't using a tool. I'd just been repeatedly hitting Maria's head with both hands. So, I looked at my hand. Oh god. That sound effect is creepy. Oh. From my wrist onwards, my hands broke off, splintered, and disappeared. As though only that part of my arms had become ceramic. Yeah, here we go, good music again. No, as though all of me from the wrist onwards had suddenly become ceramic, and had broken and fallen. They had gotten covered with cracks because I had hit Maria too much and had fallen off. After all, look, aren't both of my wrists lying smashed by my feet? There was no pain, but the shocking sight of my hands breaking off from the wrist onwards made me scream. Well, your hands are falling off. Oh no, it's the creepy Maria. Good, good. I love creepy Maria. It's my favorite Maria. Ignoring my confusion, Maria spoke that with a very cold voice, slowly moving her hands away from her head, where they had been defending against my barrage. Well, it's just Maria, your loving daughter, who loves you so much. You blame Maria for this, I love it. But that's a very Rosa thing to do, isn't it? Behind Maria's back, a black silhouette had appeared. It was the silhouette of an adult. Who? Oh, it's Beatrice.
絵本を温かい食事を作ることのできる腕も残しても多いか。
ママはマリアの頭を撫でるより叩く方が多いの。絵本なんかめくってくれない。ご飯だって作ってくれない。マリアが自分で買いに行くの。でも同じお店に何度も行っちゃいけないし。
Those eyes in Maria though always make me laugh when she's got that expression.
顔を覚えられてもいけない。おまわりさんに話しかけてもいけない。なんで？どうして？マリアが悪いの？マリアがママに撫でてもらったり、絵本を読んでもらったり、一緒にご飯を食べたりしちゃいけないの？どうして？どうして？マリア悪くないよ。マリア悪くない。ママが悪い。ママが悪い。ママは一緒に遊んでくれないけど、サクタロは一緒に遊んでくれ
And
た。
before his head was ripped off by you.
本も読んでくれた。テレビも見てくれた。一緒にご飯も食べてくれた。ママよりもっともっと大切な友達だったのに。
悪かったと思ってるわ。でも仕方ないでしょ。
You know, maybe not have done that?
ママは仕事で忙しい。
No, that wasn't work. I don't believe that was work is
マ
what
マ
you
の
were
仕
doing.
事が忙しいのは知ってるでしょ。
I think it's too late for the lies,
仕方
Rosa.
ないのよ。仕方ない。
そう、これは仕方なき。そなたの娘が傷つき、心を引き裂かれ、涙に血を浮かべることさえ、これは仕方なき。なれば今この場にてこのようなることになるもまた、すべては仕方なきこと。さあ、マリ、母を名乗った女の言い分は以上だ。許せ、否、無罪か、はたまた有罪か。
許せない。ママは有罪だ。サクタロにママがしたのと同じ目に合わせてやる。ママを
I couldn't help but murder your only friend because of work.
中の綿をぶちまけてやる。
Maria's eyes ominously flashed blue. In that instant, invisible massive arms stuck their fingernails out and tightly grasped Rosa's entire body. As the bones all over her body made a sound like twigs being stepped on, they cracked readily and broke. Rosa had understood vaguely. The massive arms were probably her own arms, from the time she had torn Sakataro apart. From a stuffed animal's perspective, her arms must certainly be this massive. So I can imagine what would happen next. The sharp nails stuck strongly into the base of my neck, and I heard the skin tearing with my own ears. Ugh. Then, as the two witches watched over her, Rosa's flesh was split into two, top and bottom. When Sakataro had been torn apart, bits of cotton had flown about like snowflakes. But in Rosa's case, something like black, thick tar came out, filthily flying all over the place. There wasn't even a trace of the red of blood. It was something black, filthy, and thick. It was probably what a bloodless, tearless human kept inside their body instead. Good job, Maria.
さあどうかそなたの復讐これにて十分。そなたは母を許せる否か、無罪か有罪か。
許せない、まだまだ許せない、有罪だ。
When Beatrice brandished her pipe cake, gold butterflies seeped up and restored Rosa's broken flesh in an instant. Wasn't that nice of her? Sorry about that, Rosa. Didn't mean to accidentally rip your head off like you did to the stuffed animal.
一つの命で償いのほどのそなたの大罪、身をもって知る。
You know, I still, once again, I don't feel bad. I don't like this. I don't feel bad about Rosa.
そして自らの深き罪を思い出す。さあ思い出してごらんなさい。そなたがどれほどの罪を犯したのか。
もしもし、ママなの？ママは何時に帰ってくるの？
ごめんなさいね。今日も仕事が忙しくて泊まりになってしまうの。
またお仕事でお泊まり？ママのお仕事、今日も大変だね。
Okay, sorry, I'm gonna have to turn down the volume just a little bit. So, yeah, we'll try that.
ごめんね。本当に忙しいの。もうずっと会社に缶詰よ。外の空気も吸えやしないわ。ママの仕事は早く終わらすだけじゃダメなの。より良いデザインをあげないと次から仕事をもらえない大変な仕事なのよ。だからどうしても時間がかかっちゃうの。
うん、分かってるよ。マリア、いい子でお留守番してるからお仕事いっぱい頑張って。
I'll be at work, not Hot Springs. Why would you think Hot
お
Springs?
家に帰ってきてね。
ママのお仕事を分かってくれてありがとう。明日美味しいケーキを買って帰ることを約束するわ。
ケーキいらないよ。
No, no, Maria, don't turn down the
ケー
cake.
キ屋さんに寄って遅くなるより、その分ちょっとでも早くママが帰ってくる方が嬉しい。
大丈夫よ。早く帰ってくるわ。約束する。だから美味しいケーキを2人で食べて、美味しい紅茶を2人で飲んで、一緒に新しい絵本を読みましょう。この間買った狼と羊のパズルで遊びましょうね。2人で一緒に。約束よ。
And then when I get home, I'll smash the cake because I'm an angry mother.
うん、約束。待ってるね。お仕事頑張ってね、ママ。
ほうほう。
And did you ever bring that
寂しい
cake?
話ではあるが、互いを思い合う良き親子愛ではないか。何か問題があるというの。マリ、そしてローザ。
その約束は
Did you keep it without smashing the cake?
次の日の夕方に約束通りケーキを買っていつもより早い帰宅をしたはずよ。
マリアは知ってたよ。あの日の夕方ね、ママ宛てに着払いの荷物が来たけど、お財布の中のお金が足りなかったから、ママにどうしようって相談したくて会社に電話したの。特別な時以外はかけちゃダメって言われて、ママのお仕事の大切なものだったら悪いしと思って電話したの。
Uh-oh. So Maria knew,
そしたら
even
ママ
before,
は
like
お
we knew
休
she
みだ
knew.
って言われた。その日はずっと前からお休みに決まってて、遠くへ遊びに行っているって言われたの。マリアは知ってたよ。ママが嘘をついてるってずっと知ってた。でもね、サクタロがそうじゃないってマリアを叱ってくれたの。
Sakataro got his head ripped off for that. That's what you get for listening to
ママ
stuffed
は毎
animals.
日お仕事でとても大変。 マリアを放っておいて遊んでるはずなんてないって。ママはお休みって言った人はきっと何か勘違いして言ってしまったんだよって。サクタラがそう言うんだもん。マリアは信じたよ。マリアは信じた。ママ大好き、ママ大好き。もちろんママだってマリアを愛してる、愛してるって。
ええ、私もよ。愛してるわ、マリア。
Rosa let out a deep sigh. Maybe being dead wasn't so bad. Maybe she felt the weight of her words. Then she set the receiver on the bedside phone. The dark room made the starry sky on the ground below the window stand out even more beautifully. On the table in front of the terrace was a very cold wine cooler, and the one she shared a glass with was gazing at the scene below.
娘さんに旅行って話してないんですか？
行くって言って前にうるさかったんで、以来言わないことにしてるんです。その方が面倒がなくていいんで。
娘さんが気になるなら無理に日程を組まなくても分かったじゃありませんか。
でもそれじゃいつまで経っても予定が合わないし、それは気にしないでって言ったでしょ。
The slender middle-aged man, clad in a white robe, gave a small sigh. Rosa reacted instantly to that slight reaction.
もう娘の話はなしにして、せっかくの上等なワインが台無しよ。
私はあなたに
Wow.
一人の人間としても
This is
女
Rosa
性と
just
して
a
も
bag of
勇気を
scum.
感じています。
It's a nice-looking work office you
だ
got
か
there.
らこそあなたの親子の事情に無理を強いてまでこうして時間を割くのは申し訳ないと感じています。
Look at this guy, even he knows that Rose is bad.
私と娘の事情は気にしないでくださいって。あなたと二人きりの時に娘の話はしないようにしてるでしょ。電話だって下のロビーでうるさい酔っ払いがバカ笑いしてなければここではかけなかった。
ローザさん、こういう唐突な日程での旅行は娘さんのために今後は少し考えませんか？互いの日程があった時だけでいいじゃありませんか。
Gonna rip his head off too because he's a jerk.
それじゃ全然日程が合わないじゃないですか。私はいつだって一緒にいたいのに。
それは子供の恋愛の仕方です。大人同士の恋愛はもう少しストイックであるべきですよ。ローザさんと一緒にいられる時間が長く取れないことは僕も寂しいです。ですがその限られた時間と機会で僕たちは十分に大人の恋愛を楽しめていると思いますよ。
それはもっと娘と一緒にいる。
You're telling me I have to be a responsible parent and not leave my daughter alone for nights on end?
女でなく母でいろということですか？
あなただって望んでいることでしょう。娘さんと一緒にゆっくり過ごしたいとあなただって思っているはずだ。僕は逃げません。僕との時間を優先するために娘さんを犠牲にするのは気の毒だと申し上げたいのです。
奥さんとのより戻したんですか？
Oh, see, now it's just getting worse.
別れるのが嫌になったんですね。
妻の話はしたくない。あなたが娘さんの話をしたくないのと同じです。
子連れの女は面倒だって思ったんでしょう。
そんなこと今までに一度も言ったことはありませんよ。
みんな子連れだと分かると手のひらを返す。あの子の養育費は気にしなくていいからと言ってもみんな手のひらを返す。あなたは娘のことを理解してくれてると思ったのに、やっぱり
Somebody take the shovel away from Rosa. She's just digging her own grave here.
そうは言っていません。ローザさんのことを嫌いになってなどいませんよ。私が言いたいのは娘さんをもっと大事にしなさい。あなた自身もそれを望んでいるはずだ。だから娘さんに嘘をついて自らを傷つけてほしくない。そう言ってるだけなんです。
嘘つき！私のことが面倒になっただけ。
そんなことは言っていない。
いいえ、わかるの。私にはわかるわ。
No, I would agree. Rosa has like ginormous trust issues. She can't even trust this guy that she's cheating with, or not cheating. But well, actually, yeah, she is cheating. Cause, yeah, pretty much.
あの子を理由に何度も捨てられた私だからわかるの。雰囲気でわかるわ。そうよ、あなたもそう。他の男たちと一緒。子連れの女は嫌なのよ。バツイチは嫌なのよ。ね、知らない男と作った子供の親になんかなりたくないんでしょ。ええ、そうよね。その気持ちすっごいわかるわ。子連れの男と付き合ったことがあるけど、その気持ちすっごいわかったの。
She never grew up after that Beatrice Cliff incident.
だから娘を理解してくれるあなたとなら一緒になれるって信じたのに。そうよ、あんたなんて邪魔だったのよ。あんたさえいなければ、
Wow.
私はとっくに女とし
Like
ての
even at
幸
this
せを
point,
つかめたのよ。
you think at this point, even if it's too late, Rose would be like, "Wow, I screwed up real bad." Nope.
あんたの存在が
Nope.
私の幸せをいつも邪魔するのよ。
Maria, I don't think your mom is coming back from this one.
私だってあんたなんか産みたくなかったわよ。いいえ、違うわ。あんたと一緒に幸せな家庭を築けたらと思ったわよ。でもあんたが生まれる直前にあいつは蒸発した。私と温かい家庭を築くと言って私を騙し、永遠に私の前から消え去ったわ。残ったのはあんただけ。愛も思い出も何もない。
So I guess now we're figuring out what happened to Rose's husband and Maria's dad.
あの男は今どこへ。私との日々を温かな思い出に勝手に変えて新しい恋人に出会ったかもしれない。そして今度こそ幸せな家庭を築けたかもしれない。そして私はあんたがいる。恋も探せない。男は好きに女を渡り歩いて武勇伝気取りなのに、女には私にはあんたがいる。あんたという重しがいるのよ。あんたのせいで私は恋を探せない。
Wow.
愛が得られない。一人、いいえ、それさえも許されてないわ。私には一人で酔いつぶれたい夜さえ許されていない。あんたは誰？何者？私の人生を台無しにして私の新しい人生さえ許してくれないあんたは私の人生の何者なのよ。死ね！消えろ！あんたなんか生まれてきた時から大嫌い。
I don't know. Yeah, just as it was said in the comments, I don't think you'd really want to be forming a family with Rosa at all, even if Maria didn't exist. Like that just seems like there's all sorts of hidden problems that are going to crawl up later.
あんたがお腹の中にいた頃からそれを前向きに受け入れようと頑張って良き母を演じてきたわ。私は頑張った。
I've already retrieved the shovel from Rosa, now she's just digging with her bare hands.
同世代の女性たちが独身を謳歌し時に恋に遊びあるいは愛に結ばれるのを横目に見ながら私は女と母の二足のわらじを吐き続けたわ。その私の苦労を誰がねぎらったの？誰も褒めない、称えない。自業自得。気持ちはいい。負け組の遠吠え。無無な小娘がいい。こっちから願い下げよう。ケツの青い若造どもが。必死だった私はさぞかし簡単に落ちる女に見えたろうさ。必死だったわよ。まだまだ恋をしたい年頃の私が日々を仕事と育児で忙殺されていきどれほど必死だったか
想像もつかないでしょうよ。あんたの本当の父親ももちろん憎いわよ。でも破局を迎えた責任は私と彼に半々だわ。私にも逃げられるだけのしつこさがあったのかもしれない。でもその後の破局は全部あんたのせい。私はあんたにそれをなじったことはあったないでしょ。男に逃げられて酔いつぶれたいその次の日があんたの授業参観。泣き晴らした目を厚化粧でごまかしてあんたが的外れな発言をしてクラス中から失笑されてた時の私の気持ちなんてあんたどころか世界中の誰にもわからないでしょうよ。あんたが嫌い、大嫌い。そしてこれまでにあんたを本当に愛したことなんて
Thanks for clarifying that, Rosa.
一度もない。
Because I wasn't quite sure if I got that picture. Good job, music. Built up at just the perfect time there. Maria's face was still stiff. If the words really had been blades, Maria's whole body would probably be stained red with fresh blood by now. Even after gaining the power of a witch and resolving herself to take revenge for Sakataro. She couldn't stand these curses coming out of her mother's mouth.
Umineko. これがこの女の本性。邪悪極めし千年の魔女のわらわで見るに耐えぬことこの上なし。ああマリアよ、今こそ決別の時。そなたの母を名乗った醜き肉の塊を打ち砕け。そなたの無垢なる魂、親子の鎖にてこれ以上束縛される意味はなし。自らの魂、自らの手で今こそ解放せよ。そなたは自らを守る牙の爪を今こそ手に入れたのだ。
マリアを苦しめてきた日々を今こそ思い知らせてやる。苦しみの日々を今こそ復讐してやる。
That's a nice face.
その私を苦しめてきたのはあんたじゃない。私が復讐したいくらいよ。あんたが生まれる前にそうすればよかった。
It's like it's equally part scary and part kind of sad, I guess that's the best way to say it.
あんたなんか産まなければよかった。消えてしまえ。
As Rosa howled, in a way that can only be described by the word splat, her upper body was crushed, and in an instant was turned into something similar to a wrung, blood-stained towel.
潰れてしまえ。許せない、許せない。
クズがふさわしい姿よ。
Even though Rosa's waist and below was standing normally, just the upper half of her body was pinched, and that extreme difference was bizarre. Then she fell over, but the instant she fell, her body was restored. Sorry about that, didn't mean to crush you or whatever the heck, pinch you to death.
死になさいよ。
Rosa, no. She's just completely irredeemable right now.
この程度のものだ。
Is this the limit of the music volume?
怒りと悲しみの生産の時、
つける。吐き出せ。そなたの胸に打ち込まれたくさびをすべて押し出し跳ね返せ。
Maria's howl was adorned with the ugly sound of flesh and bone being crushed at the same time. As Rosa, who had foully insulted Maria, lay spread eagle, a neat perfect circle was cut out of her chest and crushed, as though her chest had been trampled by an invisible elephant. Her heart and her lungs and her ribs were trampled so mercilessly that they were completely indistinguishable. That might have symbolized the pain in Maria's heart up until today. Yeah, look, this is finally the chance that they had to spend together, mother and child, that they haven't had for, like, ever. Beatrice asked this question. She already knows the answer. Know it, Rosa.
さあ思い出してごらんなさい。そなたがどんな姿をしていたのか。殺されるためによみがえれ。己が罪を見そぐために殺されよ。何度でも。
When Vito waved her cane, the body was restored again, and Rosa sat up, coughing violently in apparent pain. And once again, she spat out curses rejecting Maria because she's just completely irredeemable. You're the Black Witch.
Majo 気持ち悪い本ばかり読んで魔女ごっこにかぶれて消えるのはあんたの方よ。あんたのせいで私まで変わり者扱い。あんたのせいであんたのせいで。
Don't worry, when you're dead you can't be treated like a weirdo once all this is finally over.
お前なんか生まなければよかった。お前なんか生まれてくるな。生まれてくる前から大嫌いだったのよ。
Maria screamed. Was she unable to bear her anger and sadness? Or else was she taken over by an indescribable emotion? It was surely a cry of hopelessness. And yet, it was a reality that had to be accepted. Maria knew. She knew that she was thought of as a burden. But even though she herself had known that, she did not believe it. She had believed that her mother loved her and had done her best to positively interpret several events that could have made her doubt this, trusting and clinging to her mother's love. But she had no one except Maria, or Mama. Even so, she really did like Mama, and wanted to return to the days when she had believed that Mama loved her. So she howled. She brought everything to nothing. She didn't accept it. She denied it. She denied the Black Witch that had made her mother say things like that. And the part of herself that she couldn't forgive that mother. But she couldn't deny it. This is reality, fact, truth, the answer. Without any mistake, this is certain. Reality. Maria turned Rosa into a lump of meat over and over and over in the dark world that reflected her heart. The ugly sound of flesh and bone being torn apart, which would make one want to cover their ears, rang out. Each time Beatrice revived Rosa, she dragged her back into the world of endless torture, which could not be escaped from even by death. This was the true, deepest hell that the endless witch Beatrice could create. However, this world was not made endless by Beatrice's will, because every time Rosa turned into a lump of meat, she asked the same question to Maria.
せる。
許せるものか、許せるものか。許さない、許さない。マリアの苦しみの全てを教えてやる。もっともっと教えてやる。まだまだ足りない、全然足りない。生まれた時から、生まれる前から。
Yeah, this is great. I don't know why you guys are finding this depressing. It's lovely.
蔑まれてきたこの怒りと悲しみがどうしても消せないの。
あんたなんか大嫌い、大嫌い。
Revive over and over again. Return to a meat lump over and over again. In various ways she crushed, smashed, beat, tore to bits. Flying blood spatter and flesh turned the once pitch black world into a world mixed with red and black. Maria's anger still hadn't calmed down. It was as though she was spitting out all of the suppressed rage, from the time of her birth until today. If all that became poison to her heart, then would the repeated murder of her mother purify her soul? Would even this wasteful murder save her soul? At least a little, at least a little bit. Rosenberger, no. This endless torture might have become a slight diversion from her sad, unrewarded life. After all, it seemed that she had finally been able to regain her smile. Oh, good smile, yes.
私の痛みがこの程度ではないこと。どうしたの？もう笑わないの？笑ってみせろよ。
Half of her skull collapsed. Eyeballs flew out and a black cranial fluid gushed. Fragments of teeth scattered. Oh, and Maria's enjoying it now. Isn't that lovely? It's lovely mother-daughter bonding now. Her whole chest along with her ribs turned inside out, exposing her filthy innards. All of them writhed, looking like an impure creature. Rosa couldn't let out a laughing voice anymore. But her face was laughing. It was filled with a twisted laugh which was covered with a malice that rejected her unwanted daughter. I erased that laughing voice. Next, I'll erase that laughing face. I'll erase it, I'll crush it, I'll tear it to bits. Oh no, no, no. Oh no, that's nightmare inducing right there. Oh, that's fun. Yeah. That's good stuff right there. Oh. Wow. Oh, that's fun. Yeah, gonna go to sleep with the light on. Let's keep going. Yeah, let's read the picture book. It's fun. Happy Maria. Oh, it's just sending chills down my spine, just thinking about it.
そうだ、そなたは今母と遊んでいるのだ。じゃれているのだ。どうか、今の感情は怒りでも悲しみでも苦しみでもない。
そうだね、わかるよ、ベアトリーチェ。私は今すっごく楽しいよ。
Yeah, see now Mama can't run away with her stupid boyfriend now that she's dead.
そしてママを何度も何度も殺しているのに、魔法一つで好きなだけ生き返らせられる。
Kind of sounds like someone else,
お
doesn't
も
it?
ちゃは壊したら直せないから大事にした。でも治るおもちゃなら何度でも壊した。
Sounds a lot like someone else, actually.
でも作太郎は治らないんだね。治せないんだね。作ったママが、産んだママが認めないから。私もママに認められてないんだね。だから壊れたマリアももう楽しくなったらなぜかママが許せる気がしてきたの。ねえベアと、これはとっても不思議な感情。どうしてマリアはママを許せる気持ちになってきたの？
それは生き死にを自由にできる力を得た魔女のみがたどり着くいつが殺す。必要なら蘇らせ、面倒ならまた殺せばいい。それをいつでも指一本鳴らすだけでできることを知ったなら、人の世そなたに母を許そうという感情が芽生えた。そなたが母の愛に目覚めたからではない。そなたが今こそ真の魔女の世界の入り口に立ったからだ。ようこそマリア、深遠な
Welcome
そして甘美なる魔
to the
女の世
profound
界へ。
and sweet world of witches.
なったんだ。マリアはもうマリアじゃない。まだ見習いかもしれないけれど、人間の世界を超えた。私はもう原初の魔女見習いマリアなんだ。もう私は何も悔しくない、
Yeah,
悲しくない。
you can't be fixed either. Don't even try to fix it. Just keep going.
ママ、許してあげるよ。きっと私はママを許せる。
That's so considerate of you after all that murdering.
だって魔女だから。
I like the teeth. Teeth is a good thing. Maria would probably forgive her mother eventually, after brutally murdering her countless times. Graciously. Wasn't that just lovely? So what was Sakataro trying to do? Did he know that was going to happen and he was trying to lead her away from all that? Is that what was going on there? I don't know. Also, I know you guys don't like it, but seriously, is this a good place to stop? Because we've now been streaming for about 3 hours, and I do need to go to sleep soon. So is this a good place to stop, or is there a stopping point in, like, you know, less than 5 minutes? Because otherwise I think I will be ending here. Yeah, I thought that's definitely what it seemed like. Sakataro seemed like he was trying to protect her. Like, he knew that was going to happen. Selfless till the end. That's great. Good place to stop. That should be decent. Alright, cool. We'll end it there. That was good. That was fun. And, thank you guys. Thank you guys for watching. That was a lot of fun. I think I'm gonna go. No, I don't want another 3 hours. I need to go to bed soon. I have work tomorrow. But yeah, thank you guys. What is it for you guys time? Again, just out of curiosity. I saw someone say like 5 out, like it was 5 a.m., but that was like an hour ago. So is it like 6? Ugh. Yeah, have fun sleeping. Maybe I won't actually need sleep. Maybe I won't sleep. We'll see. Maybe I'll play more video games. Because, you know, I'll never sleep. But, yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed That was fun. 6 a.m., 9 p.m., 6:01, 11:12, 6:05. Yeah, I thought so. Unfortunately, time zones do make it somewhat difficult to do streams, though I think these, like, Friday night ones are probably going to be a bit more accessible to people. Yeah, it's Saturday now, at least for me anyway. So I think that does help. So maybe I'll try to see if I can focus streams more on the weekend. It really just depends on if I've got like a late night shift at work or something, so it depends. But yes, anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time for some more Umineko. Have a good sleep, or not.